Hello everyone and welcome to our video of VidaBox Whole House Audio Servers. This is the second video of a two-part series that goes over the included on-screen interface and controls of our audio servers. We'll go over the advantages and features that having a VPad, touch client, or other VidaBox touchscreens can bring into a multi-room audio setup. First, let's take a quick look at my sample setup. Here, I have 4 independent audio sources, all coming from my room client audio server. They're named VidaBox 1, VidaBox 2, VidaBox 3, and VidaBox 4. In addition, I decided to use a single AM/FM WX tuner from a NuVo dual tuner. Note that the Russound tuners can be used as well. For control, in-wall keypads provide a direct, metadata-rich interface showing artist name, song title, and other track information. Using the keypad is very easy. The VidaBox sources would act like any other music source, allowing me to browse by artist, song, etc. The info is carried between the VidaBox and the audio distribution amp over the RS-232 cable. Besides the keypad, I can also use a web browser, phone, or other internet radio device to gain control of the whole house audio setup via TCP/IP. Lastly, I can use a VidaBox touch panel or extender to control everything. Now that I have everything connected, let's start by accessing the on-screen interface. There's a couple of ways of getting to this interface. First, from a VidaBox touchscreen, access to the interface is already set up for you. Upon starting the touch panel, the interface will come right up. Second, you can access the interface via the system's web address. This is covered in the included documentation. And finally, the interface can be accessed on any VidaBox extender by starting Media Center and simply going into the music strip, and then you'll see a multi-zone audio icon. Select it, and the interface will appear. Note that the interface will be the same regardless of which one of the 3 control options that we've just talked about. The only change is the size of the album art and how everything scales on the screen. As you can see, you're first presented with the View All Zones page where you can see the status of your whole house audio system at a glance. Depending on your hardware, you can support many more zones. For example, you can provide 6 sources for up to 16 zones with a NuVo Grand Concerto and Expander unit. On the interface, the names of the zones and sources can be customized as well. For this video, I've named it from Zone 1 through 8. The source names can be changed as well. In this video, I've again named them from VidaBox 1 through 4, and the radio tuner is named appropriately. I can also now turn on all of my zones, or off, lock each zone to prevent changes from being made to it, choose DND for Do Not Disturb, change the volume, change my sources, and so on. So from this View All Zones screen, I can quickly get control of every aspect of the whole house audio system. Let's take a quick look at Zone 1 and pick some music. We can do that by clicking on the magnifying glass, where we can then see a View by Room screen. Right now, there's nothing playing, so let's pick something by choosing Select Music. You can now see full color out cover art arranged by album, or you can change it by going in and choosing Select by Artist, Genre, or Start a Playlist. You can also find by song title as well. Let's go back into the album view. I can bring up more albums by pressing on the down key, or jump to a particular album by its name. Say if I'm looking for my Never Say Never album by Brandy, so I can pick on N, click on the cover art, and now I can see all the tracks that are on the album. I can now click on Play Now, and you'll see the added 16 songs to the queue message come up on top. The VidaBox Audio Server will start playing in Zone 1 for me to enjoy. Let's go back and pick another album. I can do that by tapping on the back button that's on the lower right-hand side. Say if I wanted to add Dido on here now. Once again, click on the album art, and now see all of the CD information. And instead of clicking on Play Now, I can click on Add to Queue, which lets me start building a playlist. So if I press on View Queue now, I can see that Brandy is still playing, or if I scroll down, I'll see the Dido is following next. I can click on Reshuffle if I want to shuffle the playlist manually, or if I go back to the room view by clicking on Home, I can pick the shuffle mode on that page as well as the repeat mode I can fast forward or rewind by tapping along its timeline. I can also skip to the next song or jump back to the previous song. I can also mute the zone or change the volume in that zone. Say if I want to clear the list, I can click on View Queue, then clear all songs, and start over and make another playlist. Once that happens, the No Items in Queue appears. So let's go back to the View by Room by clicking on Home. Say if I want to pick an internet radio station now instead of picking from my collection, I can choose Select Music again, and then choose the music type and switch it from My Windows to Internet Radio. You can now instantly access thousands of internet radio stations spanning hundreds of genres. You can see all the genres by changing the Select By option, so it's showing you even international options. To launch a station, simply click on the station, and that's all. Let's go back to the home page, and you'll see that internet radio is shown. I can also navigate and tune into different stations by clicking on Tune. Once I pick the channel that I want, I can click OK, and then the music will start. To make navigation and finding stations even easier, you can mark your favorite stations by clicking on the star symbol. Say if I want to find another genre and find another station. I can tune into, say, rock, find a station that I'm looking for, click OK, and switch over once again. Let me mark this down as my favorite as well. And let's find a third one. Pop. Let's tune into that. And let's mark this one as my favorite. So now that I've set up all my favorites, I can quickly cycle through my favorite stations by choosing the favorites button on here and be able to instantly jump back and forth between all of the ones I prefer. Now that I have something playing in Zone 1, let's start something in Zone 2. I can do that by changing the room setting, and by default, it's tuning into VidaBox 1 as well, so that Zone 1 and 2 will be playing the same thing. Let me turn this zone on. But now say if I want to change the feed that's going into Zone 2, but I want to leave Zone 1 alone. The solution to that is just to change the feed to use another source coming from the VidaBox. So let's choose VidaBox 2. And let me select another internet radio station. Select OK. So that now I have two different internet radio stations playing on two different locations at the same time. On Zone 3, I want to try to use the AM/FM radio. So once again, switch to Zone 3, turn it on. I can now switch my source onto AM/FM radio. And once again, I can directly tune the tuner itself or use the seek function, or similar to the internet radio function, I can also browse by genre and tune the different stations by a list. If the station is transmitting metadata, I'll be able to see that here or in the in-wall keypads around the house as well. Other neat features I can do with the VidaBox Music Server is to set sleep times, just like a TV. I can also use it as an alarm with a predefined schedule. Besides internet radio and your music collection, you can also plug it in to an iPod, so that now for another zone, say if I wanted to use it for that, when I go to select music, one of the options that will appear on the music type will be iPod. Once you're done with the iPod, you can click now on Home and press the Eject iPod button to remove it safely. So let's go back now into the All Zones view. As you remember from before, we have Zone 1 playing source number 1, source 2 playing source number 2, and so forth. I can now switch all of the different zones and have them play independently different streams of music, or if I want, I can synchronize everything onto one common feed and do a party mode. So that's pretty much it for the VidaBox Audio Server overview video. If you'd like to learn more, please visit our website at vidabox.com or give us a call. Thanks for watching.